Welcome to the sexiest channel of the sexiest man that ever lived, next to Charles Jesus Christ. And this is an episode of Random Incoherent Ramblings with Old Uncle Slade. So, I just wanted to demonstrate how pro wrestlers are supermen. I'm holding a conversation with you, and I'm hitting the bag harder than some people who practice MMA and all that kind of shit. And pro wrestling is cucking out to MMA too much. People who are pro wrestlers are fucking supermen that belong in a circus, right? And yeah, so pro wrestling, this is why pro wrestling is part real. One, where do I begin? Look, at a bunch of prima donna politics fucked up pro wrestling. Like, you get people who don't want to take a certain move. Sometimes that's understandable. They don't want to put you over. You have to have chemistry. Yes, I'm already out of breath. Been working out all day though. And you have to have someone you're gonna trust that's gonna catch you in the spots and all this other shit. And if you're not making the promoter money, if you're not valuable, this shit can turn into a shoot, man. And you gotta be prepared to handle your business, you know? So you see, let's say you're a little dude, right? This is why I love MMA, and we need it and shit like that in the world. But here's why MMA is fucking boring. Listen, I'm a big ass fucking ogre. I weigh almost 270 pounds right now. And if we were to fight, if we were to full on shoot, it's gonna be the most boring thing in the world. I'm either gonna sit on you and sit on you and squish you to death, or you're gonna have to kick me in the leg and keep circling away and jabbing my face. The demographic that wants to see that shit is more fucking infinitesimal than pro wrestling is. But we can have a drunken, belligerent brawl like a fucking goddamn, sibling feud at a fucking family barbecue where, I fucking let you hit me and you had to crack me with the chair and fucking, another reason how pro wrestling is half real. This is something Chris Benoit would do. Let's say I chop you, right? Boom! I know that sucked, but okay, so you chop me, and I chop you, and you chop me, and maybe I'm kind of a nice guy, so I let you get two. And the first one to bitch out is gonna do something to break that, mold. Let's say you're the baby face, right? You might kitchen sink me, you might knee me. I'm the heel, so I might fucking poke you in the eyes. So that's how you have to learn ring psychology. That's why pro wrestling's fucking half real. I knew a dude who's bigger than me, and some luchador was trying to make him look bad, trying to tire him out and shit. So my buddy really clotheslined him, gets him in a headlock, and he's like, "Fuck you, ref, fuck you, fans." And he tells this guy, he's like, "Hey, if you don't slow the pace down, I'm about to turn this shit up real quick, So pro wrestling don't get the creds, man. Also, with all the rules nowadays at MMA, pro wrestling's more dangerous, man. What other sport are you daily fucking upside down in midair and shit? I got so many fucking injuries, I won't even bore you with them. I'm like a bionic man and shit like that, dude. So any fucking way, where else was I going with this shit? Yeah, so pro wrestling's cucking out to MMA too much. Pro wrestling's supposed to be where the fucking genetic freaks lie, and kayfabe is dead. And so what? You can get some fucking giant in a fucking ankle lock and shit like that. You add some fucking rules to that mess, it's not that easy anymore. So I don't know, you kind of get the point. I could go into fucking lessons and conjectures and who gives a shit. Anyway, as you can see, I kind of know my shit. I got a fucking torn Achilles. It kind of healed, but not really. So, I'm not even fucking ki-eyeing, I'm not even exhaling on this shit. And, so, that's like a 200-pound bag. So anyway, if you're cool and shit like that, I don't teach shit for free. So I got so fucking injured and kept coming back like Mick Foley to practice to learn shit that took me pathetically till I was 40 years old, past my prime, to fucking know what I'm talking about. So anyway, fucking way. Look, yes, there's probably more credible channels and shit like that, and I can name a few. But if you're cool and you got any questions, drop them off in the fucking comment box, and I might make a video to teach, you know? And that would be for free. I'm not gonna just teach any fucking asshole shit like that, you know? And if you don't really think I'm credible and shit like that, come beat my ass or fucking vice versa, and we'll fucking put $100 on it or some shit and hopefully go viral. But, you know, oh, here, that goes into another fucking rant. Fucking, it's not even legal to fucking assault guys for chicks anymore, or fucking goddamn, scratch assault, what's that called? Mutual combat. I don't believe in bullying unless people fucking deserve it. But, yeah, so that's why fucking like people like in Russia are tougher than us dudes now, because we're not allowed to fucking fight unless you're some douchebag MMA fighter jock fuck. So yeah, and chicks should fucking they should legalize mutual fighting, because then it would like eugenicalize the fucking populace, and then chicks will know some dude is really down for that puss and shit. You fucking you ever seen some pranks where fucking like some dude jumps out like Jason Voorhees and the simp fucking ditches his chick and runs the fuck off? That's just fucking hilarious. Or, you know, the Zodiac killer is gonna pop out of nowhere and you're gonna have this little pretty fucking boy simp. What the fuck is he gonna do? He don't give a shit. Like, you know, an asshole like me, I'm too fat to fucking run. I'm sure you are too if you're into pro wrestling. You're gonna have to fucking handle it, man. So, oh, and that leads me to another fucking lesson, guys. So, back in my day before I got fat and old, all I could get was goth pussy, and they're fucking psychotic, and there's gonna be orbs floating around your house, and you're trying to eat dinner, and they call you a bitch for wanting to watch like an Adam Sandler fucking movie, and they have to watch, you know, the incest serial killers of fucking hell on earth while you're trying to eat dinner. And so what I learned from all that shit was, if you ever get attacked, like someone wants to bind you, kidnap you, you gotta fight for your life, because they're gonna torture you and humiliate you to a fucking horrible death. You're better off trying to survive a coma, getting shot in the head, or fucking taking a few to the guts and wrestling the gun away from homeboy. And trust me, like, when your life depends on it, you'll probably pull that off, because weak ass people use weapons and shit like that. They're betas and fucking they're gonna be so focused on their fucking weapon, and you're gonna be so full of adrenaline, and they're gonna know they fucked up. So anyway, that was the random incoherent ramblings of the day. You guys keep on rocking in the free world.